these commercial properties, we already kind of knew there's going to be some oversupply in the downtown market. And then comes forging ahead COVID, where people now love to live from home. There's got to be some huge ramifications, but I'm not hearing anything about that. And kind of give us your kind of what post downtown office looks like. Is there going to be a wave of foreclosures? Is there mezzanine debt that's going to be taking these over, restructuring? What does that look like?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think obviously the whole COVID pandemic has been, among other things, a huge experiment in whether or not we could work from home effectively. Right? And I think the answer has largely been, yes, we can work from home or some other place than traditional office effectively. Now, does that mean that 100% of the employees are never going to return to the office? No, I don't think that's true. But on the other hand, I don't think that 100% of the employees are going to return to the office 100% of the time. So there's going to be some reduction in the demand for office buildings. You already see that with regard to REIT prices. So again, don't hold me to the number, but I think asset values for office properties in the publicly traded REITs is down over 20%.
Wow.
Right. And so I would say that the REIT market is to some extent kind of a pure comp, because the composition of the properties underneath those REITs doesn't change that frequently. And at least that's the public market's kind of unfiltered assessment of where property values are today. It's worse for lodging and it's worse for malls than that 20% number that I mentioned a moment ago. I think the other side of it is all these high-end urban multifamily properties. I think the valuation is also a question, right? So what do most of those high-end multifamily urban properties look like? Very small units, heavily amenitized, as well as the larger amenity was outside the front door of this urban apartment complex, right? COVID's changed that, right? Food and beverage establishments, retail shopping, policing, political issues has changed that calculation with regard to the outdoor amenities. Whether that's all going to reverse itself, I'm not convinced that it is. Again, I think we'll more or less recover from the COVID pandemic and return to something looking like the pre-COVID world. But my argument is these significant fiscal impediments create a huge headwind for the kinds of services that tenants value. So part of what you see back to the REIT market is REITs that have a concentration of their portfolios in the so-called gateway markets have performed more poorly than those apartment REITs that have had properties, just to make it sort of simple, in middle America. And I think that's another part of the pricing dynamic.